If you have the knowledge and the tools in your workplace to improve processes, productivity, and efficiency, and relationships, would you? I'm currently involved in a process of quality improvement project with my work environment, which is called the Cycle of Quality Improvement using the process of PDSA, or Plan, Do, Study, Act. I'm going to give a definition of a small group team, but focus more on the team than group. A group is not necessarily a team. I'll define PDSA and speak about the process that has started at the Aurora V&A between what we call the DME, or the Durable Medical Equipment Division, and one of our hospice teams. But they're two separate teams, but they're dependent on mutual responsibilities in taking care of people in the dying process. I will conclude where we should see ourselves with the project implemented into the future. Let us consider the small group team. Whereas a group of people can be on a team, they may not be a team. Quote, a team is a unit of two or more people with the complementary skills who are committed to a common purpose and a set of performance goals and to common expectations for which they hold themselves accountable. It's Lucia and Ashua, 2007, page 296. How does the small team dynamic impact the quality improvement process? The cycle of quality improvement is a process that begins with two important questions. What are we trying to accomplish? What's the aim of the project? And then how will we know that there's a change in the environment or an improvement? We will know that by the current knowledge that we have and the data that we collect when we are studying the program. PDSA is Plan, Do, Study, Act. It's authored by Edwards Deming. He's a gentleman who was a statistician who helped the government post-World War II and was asked by the government to help in Japan after 1950. And he is actually responsible, along with a gentleman named Duran, for introducing quality improvement on the statistical methods in Japan, which led to great quality improvement in their products and obviously world domination there for a while. The process of Plan, Do, Study, Act. When we plan, we're basically bringing the team together. Everyone's brainstorming. You're getting ideas of the problems that you're facing and then also the solutions that you might employ. And then from that data or that conversation and that brainstorming session, you're forming a plan. When you have the plan in place, you're going to do, and that's the action part of the plan. You're going to implement what you think is going to work for you. Whatever time period that may be a week, it may be a month, 3 months, whatever that is, you're going to give that period of time to let that implementation happen, and then you're going to come back and you're going to study what's going on. And the study process is going to let you weed out what's working and what isn't working. What isn't working is waste. We get rid of that. What's working, we're going to actually implement that on the greater scale, and that is the act portion of PDSA. So when we act, we're implementing that program on a small scale basis. We're not going broad to the whole organization, but we're going to study that as we go along. Then we're going to come back to that, and that auditing is basically called hold the gains. And holding the gains is basically us auditing your processes, your procedures, seeing what works, and then you're going to continue to monitor that as you go along. And again, that's what's good about this process, is you can manipulate it, quickly make changes, and then experience those positive changes in a rather rapid manner. As a result of identifying some immediate problems, we decided on some quick actions to immediately see improvement in efficiency, productivity, and caregiver and patient satisfaction. One of the things we did in a quick way is the nurses complained that they couldn't get a hold of the person on call. They have on-call responsibilities in the weekend. They couldn't get a hold of that person on call. They'd have to go through a call center, wait 20 minutes, 30 minutes for that person to come back. Immediately we could tell them we had that on a shared hard drive. They can access that hard drive, download that calendar of on-call responsible people, and then they would have the name and the address as well as the phone numbers of those people readily accessible, so they could make that call and get immediate contact. That's a real quick win-win for the nurse, for efficiency and productivity, when they're out there on the weekend. We also provided product for them in their immediate area. We do a lot of oxygen in the home when people are passing away or dying in the dying process, and we use tubing to get the oxygen to the nose via a nasal cannula. Those things available for them right away are very quick remedies to their frustrations. They can take care of that patient right away in the home. They're already there. What they would do in the past is call us, and they were already out to the home. We're 40 miles away. They're calling us for one thing on the same day. Well, if they have that right there with them, they can do the work ticket. They can take that out to the house. That's all taken care of. And we've saved a round-trip delivery, sometimes of 80 miles or 90 miles, which again, if you can imagine, industry-wide, you're spending about $50 to do a delivery on an average. So basically your savings are going to be really quick and rapid and very significant. So that was an exciting thing to do right on the front end. The other thing we have in place is we're going to reformulate our order forms. They do not understand all the equipment that's available to them, and they also don't give a lot of consideration when they're immediately in the home as to what equipment might be needed. So that could be repeated deliveries, 2-3 days a week, and we're spending, again, if you're 40 miles out, that's a lot of time, that's a lot of productivity that's wasted. And if they were to have that cheat sheet there for them, take a look at what they can think about asking the family to bring into the home, we could save a lot of time and money with that. Our plans for the future, to meet within the next 30 days, to formulate the final plan, and then we're going to go out 60 days out and study and collect that data and decide what we have done, that has been significant and improved upon, and then what we can implement on a larger scale to the 2 other offices that we're going to look to do this to, which is in Oshkosh and Green Bay. And as we do that, we're going to continue to hold the gains. We'll monitor that as we go along, and we trust that there's going to be a lot of success and cost savings and efficiencies with that. In conclusion, understanding small team dynamics within the context of process improvement teams can lead to significant improvement in communication, efficiency, product improvement, as well as employee and customer satisfaction. The immediate response we had to begin doing what was proposed is quite positive, given an immediate impact in the areas of improvement that we have targeted. My experience leads me to believe that process improvement enhances the work experience and makes me a more engaged employee. I'll leave with a quote from Henry Ford. Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success.